Yeah, I'm going to go over your module 2. I'm going to say week 2 because I can't stop saying week 2. Module 2. I hope that you enjoyed the first week and you felt comfortable posting. And I am sorry there were some issues with the week 1, like what you could see, the forms are kind of blocked, grayed out, and had some glitches. We got them fixed. So hopefully smooth sailing from here on out. So for week 2, there's a lot of materials to go over. You want to watch all the videos. Please make sure to watch all the videos. Click on all the links because you're going to need to do that in order to do the assignments. So all of these links that go, they'll take you right to the source that the resource we want you to look at. Just make sure that you're reading them all. There's a quiz. Again, there's something strange with the quiz. I will have the scores for your first quiz posted, and you should be able to see them automatically from here on out once you're done with the quiz. So, again, 30 multiple choice, true, false. It's a random pool of questions. They're based on the readings and videos, so make sure you do that. I know I already went over that. The best of 2 scores will be kept. So if you need to take it again, you can twice. You can do it twice, up to 2 times. For Forum 2, you're going to talk about 2 of the 5 functional HR areas, and you're going to discuss them. Just make sure that you've read all the previous material before, and of course, before you answer this question, because you're going to look at that. You're going to probably draw it from something that you've seen or read already in the course for this week. In this week's module. Sorry, more specifically, this week's module. So, in essence, you're going to draw 2 issues from any of the areas. 5 functional areas here and listed here, and then you're going to identify problems in those areas, offer solutions for the areas you've identified, and discuss one at a time. As far as I've obviously looked at what you've posted for Module 1, and I'm feeling pretty good about the responses. Most of them are detailed, and they further the discussion. So just make sure that you're responding to me and the other students as well. So you need to respond to at least 2 student posts and then me. So that's what I'm looking for when I grade this week. Okay, let's move on to written assignment 2. This time you get to pick your own company that you're interested in. Well, here's the obvious selections. It says do not select the obvious. I'm assuming in previous terms that those companies were used too often. You're going to look at the annual report. And then you're going to play the role, put on an HR manager hat. And, as you read about the company, you're going to read the mission statement, business objectives, the core values. If they're not available, look on their website. Usually you can go to a corporate website and find all that information. And really, you're just kind of doing an overview of all of these things: the annual report, mission, values, any kind of objectives, goals, value, code of ethics, anything you can find on that company. And then you're going to talk about you're playing the role of the HR manager that was hired. And then you have to assess the alignment of the firm's strategic platform, competitive situation, and write a 3-page report detailing your conclusions. So when you're thinking about doing an audience analysis for, okay, so who is this report for? It's going to be the HR, the firm's top HR manager. I mean, I would say this would be a report you might want to, it's basically an executive report. The HR manager wants the truth, so don't feel as if you must put a positive spin on everything. Write professionally, no first or second person perspective writing. So this is more like you're going to summarize what you found. I mean, this is going into the details, but you're going to summarize your findings as they are, and then talk about how the HR efforts fit in with the overall strategy that you're going to find probably on a corporate website, when you're doing your research. And then you're going to discuss discussing HR activities that may or may not fit within the strategy. So when you go, and you kind of have to dig for this, because you're going to have to find out, I mean, you're just basically doing the research and finding out what do they do from the HR perspective first, and then what does their overall strategy show, and then I mean, you might need to look for HR articles on the company to kind of figure out what, is it supporting the overall strategy? And then recommendations. And I can just kind of think of something off the top of my head. I mean, you can look online and find current events on what companies are doing what in regards to hiring, labor practices, everything, involving that. So if you go to their website and their HR strategy is conflicting with what you're reading in the news, I mean, by all means address that. That's a good kind of way to start the papers. You could find, obviously there's been, like, Apple was, years, it's been a couple years, I probably have straightened up somewhat since then, but, they were using companies in China that, were abusing their employees. Well, I mean, if you go on Apple's site and find out what their overall strategy is, and you could probably figure out that that's not going to be very supportive of it if there's issues with that, especially when it comes to light, and everyone, when they found out about it, it was a big problem and a big stain on their reputation. So anyway, that's just a very vague general example. I don't want to get too detailed because I want you to, so find some good examples where what they're doing in an HR-related function is not matching what their mission or their values that they state. So that's a good way to start. Anyway, you might already have ideas on this. You might even have firsthand observation experience about this. If you do, with a company you've been with, by all means use that company. Okay, so do not restate the question or copy and paste information from course readings on. Yeah, just make sure that you are writing your own work. Basically, what happens is, I'll get a paper and it's so many pages long, and a fourth of it is just restating the question. Don't do that. It helps me not have to spend more time grading when I'm not having to take that out of it and say, okay, is there enough here? So your responses should be well-developed paragraphs, the length of about 3 pages. 3 pages does not include any kind of title or reference page. When there's a page requirement in this course, it is strictly covering the content of the paper only. So, let's see. I'm sorry, I I got some things over here. I'm a brownie troop leader. So I was looking at that stuff earlier. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Use a word processor and save your file, and that whole thing. Same thing. You have grade mark. Oh, so this is your rubric. Okay, and I think that with these written assignments, they're pretty standardized. They're not really specific to the topic. It's more of the reason I'm telling you this is I haven't graded anything yet, but I'll have a summary comment section at the bottom of this that kind of really touches on the specifics to this assignment. So that's all there is for this week. If you have any questions or concerns or problems again with the course, or any things that aren't functioning right, just let me know. We'll deal with it. It's hopefully it'll go smoother this week. That's all. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to hearing from you on the discussion boards. Thanks for listening.